perfect balance of comfort, safety, and technology. The 2025 Kia SUV family has movement that inspires. Drive away today in a new 2025 Kia Soul, Seltos, Sportage, Sorento, or Telluride. Fuel the thrill and command the road in the luxury of a 2025 Kia K5 sedan from Bill Bird Kia. Performance, power, and design built for you. Spark inspiration in the all-electric 2025 EV9. It's a modern masterpiece, fast-charging, rugged, and roomy. Bill Bird Kia is the original home for the 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. Stop by 2435 East 15th Street, Panama City, or anytime at BillBirdKiaPanamaCity.com. We'll treat you like family and give you the peace of mind you can trust. Your local community dealer is Bill Bird Kia.
Panama City Beach, get ready for something sweet. Milkshake Factory's grand opening, Saturday, May 10th from noon to 4. Milkshake Factory on Back Beach at Breakfast Point Marketplace near Publix, next to First Watch. Celebrate with buy one, get one free milkshakes, including our mouth-watering chocolate-dipped strawberry shake. The first 100 guests score a free Milkshake Factory t-shirt. Plus, sign up for a chance to win free milkshakes for a year. Handcrafted milkshakes, gourmet chocolate bar, family-friendly fun. It's all happening at Milkshake Factory on Back Beach.
Locally owned.
PCB Hobby, the beach's premier hobby store for sports cards, comics, coins, and trading card games. PCB Hobby carries the largest selection of boxes and packs from the latest releases of brands like Topps, Panini, Leaf, and more. Looking for a specific player or team? PCB Hobby has a wide assortment of raw and graded cards. They carry parallel rookie, game used, and autographed cards in both modern and vintage. Have a collection you want to sell? We buy, sell, and trade. PCB Hobby on Back Beach Road, just east of Florida Linen. Call 850-320-8388.
WGSX WPLQ
serving businesses since
powered by Panama City Toyota.
Everything from signs and banners, vehicles and boats, magnetic and real estate signs, contractor signs, and much more. Signworks can do large format, full color printing too. Signworks, a real professional in the business world. Call Signworks at 785-8899. Signworks, 850-785-8899.
Broadcasting from the CBC Construction Studios. Get ready.
Deep center field and heading for the horizon.
Sports Talk Radio will never be the same.
Onion pickles, onions, pickles.
The Afternoon Underdogs.
Way back and gone.
On ESPN.
Northwest Florida.
Good afternoon, Northwest Florida. This is the Afternoon Underdogs, coming to you from the CBC Construction Studios right here in beautiful Panama City Beach, Florida. You got us on the airwaves, 104.3 in Panama City, 101.9 Port St. Joe, and you can download the app and take us with you anywhere. Just go to the Apple Store, go to your Google Play, type in ESPN Northwest Florida, download the app. After you have downloaded the app, we are running a contest right here, right now on that app, and all you need to do, press the Enter Contest button. Can't make it any more easier for you out there. We are giving away some Mountain Dew t-shirts from Buffalo Rock. We are also giving away some ESPN shirts, so be sure to be listening and make sure you enter for your chance to have one of those really sweet shirts. This is also Braves Country. Braves playing tonight. We will join the pregame festivities at 6 o'clock. First pitch 6:15. You're home for the Braves. ESPN Northwest Florida. And you can give us a call and you can give us a text, 850-215-6290 on the Jed Lawyer call and text line. I am James Fife in the captain's chair today. We got Chef Russ with us. What's up?
What's happening? We made it till Friday.
Hey, we are here on a beautiful Friday. Caveman Rick, how we doing?
How's it going, guys? Happy to be here.
And we got Bone.
There you go. Love that.
And we got Bone Crusher, ones and twos, making the show happen, getting out to the worldwide thing that is the radio. Well, guys, it is that time of year that we are seeing the high school baseball, high school softball starting to run into regionals and districts. We'll go over some scores from last night for games played in our area. Bishop Snyder took on Bozeman last night. Bozeman being the home team. Bozeman came away with the 3-0 victory. That gives them the 2-1 series lead. That is the 2A championship right there. So congratulations to Bozeman for moving on and representing the area with the great baseball that we got. Another good one for us. Arnold just taking it to Choctaw, 11-1. Arnold wins that series 2-1 in the 4A. Moving on into softball districts, Bozeman took on North Bay Haven last night. North Bay Haven just absolutely walloped Bozeman 11-2. We saw South Walton take on West Florida. West Florida wins that game 4-3. And then we saw Cottondale taking on Sneads. That was an 8-1 victory for Cottondale. And then finally, we see Holmes taking on Chipley. That game only made it 5 innings because of the 10-run mercy rule for Holmes. So that is our local sports scores right there.
So softball just one game?
So this is like the district.
Yeah.
So when they get into the next round,
okay, then you'll
see the best of 3s.
All right.
All right. Anybody else for locals? Locals. Going once, twice sold. We will move on into the NHL playoffs. NHL playoffs are getting to the point now. The first rounds are getting into those elimination games that are so much fun to watch. Last night was a blast for hockey fans out there if you are a fan of the puck. First game last night, Toronto Maple Leafs, Ottawa Senators. I did not see this game needing to go this many, or this series needing to go 6 games. I really thought this was going to be a sweep for the Maple Leafs, but the Leafs did win. They got the 4-2 victory in Ottawa, and that will give them the series victory of 4-2. So the Maple Leafs will be moving on in the Stanley Cup final, or to the Stanley Cup second round. We're not anywhere near finals, and I'm glad for that. Next game on the docket was the Golden Knights and Minnesota Wild in Minnesota. Golden Knights come away with the 3-2 victory. That also means the Golden Knights have won the series 4-2, and the Golden Knights will be moving on to the second round of the Stanley Cup playoffs. My favorite game of the night last night, Dallas Stars, Colorado Avalanche. This game was nuts. Ended up 7-4 in favor of the Avalanche. But this game just went back and forth through the first 2 periods. Third period, the Avalanche just kind of poured it on, and they looked good. But the whole thing with this game is it was a crazy game. All kinds of weird bounces, weird injuries, big hits, shots going in that were bouncing off of 6 people before they make it into the net. I mean, things that you just do not see very often in hockey, and all of them happening in this one game. Best way I can describe it is this game was just totally drunk. It was hockey. We were watching hockey last night, and we were seeing things that happen in hockey. But they were not going in the order you expect them to go in, and it was kind of loud and boisterous. So that's why I will say fairly drunk game, but the most entertaining game of the night. That series now tied 3-3, so we get a Game 7. I'm excited. Love hockey in Game 7.
2 greatest words in sports, Game 7.
Game 7. Final game of the night. Los Angeles Kings traveling to Edmonton to take on the Oilers. Oilers come away with the big victory, 6-4. Edmonton wins the series 4-2. Oilers advancing to the second round of the playoffs. Again, great game, high-scoring game on that one. It was one of those games, once that I saw all of the points coming in, because in the first 4 minutes of this game, there were already 4 points on the board. That's crazy. It was the fastest 4 points in NHL history in the playoffs to get onto the board. So once I saw that happen,
you took the over?
One, you take the over, and 2, I just knew the game was going to go to the Oilers because it was turning into a back and forth ping-pongy type hockey game, and that is where the Oilers absolutely make their bread and butter off of it, because they are a top 6 line, or they are a top 6 team that just uses their top 6 guys. And if you can knock them off and make them play more defensive, you can slow the Oilers down. But if you try to get into that fast-paced game and just going back and forth, you're not going to have a good time, Kings. And they did not. So the Los Angeles Kings get that nice summer break started. They can go out and hit the golf course now. Good for those guys. How are we looking in the playoff bracket? Well, right now, the East has been settled. We know what will go on in the East. So we know the Leafs defeated the Senators. We know the Panthers defeated the Lightning. Now we will see the Toronto Maple Leafs taking on the Florida Panthers. We also know the Capitals and the Canadiens are finished. Capitals advance in that one. The Hurricanes defeated the Devils, so the Hurricanes also making it to the second round. So we will see the Capitals and Hurricanes in the second round. That should be two absolutely fantastic series. West is not totally settled yet. The bottom part of the bracket in the West, we do know. We saw the Golden Knights defeat the Minnesota Wild, and the Golden Knights are moving on. We saw the Oilers defeat the Kings, and we will see the Oilers and the Golden Knights facing off in the next round. Still do not know the top half. The Jets and Blues playing tonight. This is a Game 6. And we know that we will see the Stars and the Avalanche playing in a Game 7 Saturday night. Winnipeg does have a 3-2 game advantage over the Blues in that category. Thoughts, guys? Playoffs, NHL.
Unfortunately, the career of Marc-Andre Fleury is now over since the Wild lost last night.
Yes, that is correct. Sad night for that. Glad to see Fleury did get into at least one of the games during the offseason or during the postseason. Yeah. So that was nice that he got that one last kind of hurrah. Did not win that game, but it was a close game, so not the outcome you want, but glad to see he got that chance to at least hit the ice one last time.
Yeah, and I don't know what's up with the Wild ownership. It's up in hockey world where all you do is play hockey up in that neck of the woods, and yet they still can't put a team together to make a deep run in the playoffs. And going back to the North Stars, when they left for Dallas, they finally went to the Stanley Cup.
Yeah, I was going to say they got the problem up there. Same thing happened when it was the Minnesota North Stars. I mean, just because they have a new franchise doesn't mean they changed their ways. They basically left the Minnesota area or Minneapolis area because they weren't doing anything. They couldn't win, in the area that they were at. And unfortunately, it took them moving to Dallas before they actually won, right? So, it's kind of crazy. Now they're kind of in the same boat. So I don't think anything's going to really change. There's a wealth of hockey in that part of the world, in the country.
The Mighty Ducks are from that area. A
lot of other options. You can watch college. There's minor league and stuff. So your NHL isn't always the coup de grace, for a lot of people when they got other family members that might be playing in minor leagues and stuff. And your team, if you have all those other options, your team has to play well. If it doesn't, they're going to go to what's might be a better or cheaper option, if you will. So, I don't know what Minnesota's going to do.
The Wild still sell really well, and I think that's one of the reasons that the Wild don't have to play as well, because like a lot of the Canadian teams, you can put a product out on the ice that plays 500, and you still sell that place out every single night without an issue.
I think they're getting a new arena. I read something on one of the Minnesota pages I follow.
Wouldn't be bad for him. The XL, I didn't think was that.
It's getting there.
Getting older? Okay. I didn't know. I thought it was about a 90s build.
Yeah. And
so it's about 30 years. Yeah, it's about time, because the Preds are not tearing the Bridgestone down, but they're going to put $1 billion into it to modernize it. And for that, I mean, I get it. It's a good arena. It's in a really great spot, so I understand that's why they don't want to move it. They don't really got another spot in town where you can tear something down real quick.
Been to a couple of concerts at the XL. I've never been to a Wild game, which is weird. That I've been to Carolina and Vegas Wild game or hockey games, but never a Minnesota Wild game.
Yeah, I've been to Minnesota Wild games, not in Minnesota, so it's one of the arenas I would really like to go to, because I bet the energy there is just great.
Yeah.
All right, guys, let us move on into what happened last night in the NBA playoffs. Last night, come on, scores. We see the Knicks and the Pistons. New York Knicks traveling to Detroit. New York Knicks 116, Pistons 113. The Knicks move on into the second round with the 4-2 series victory. The nightcap in the NBA, we saw the Denver Nuggets travel to Inglewood, California to take on the Los Angeles Clippers. Great game on this one. Clippers 111, Nuggets 105. This is a 3-3 series, so what do we get Saturday night?
Game 7.
Game 7. Hey, we get 2 Game 7s at least, and we might get a third Game 7 depending on what happens between the Jets tonight. You know, we might get another one on Sunday, which would make me an incredibly happy man on the weekend. So the Knicks moving on. Not too surprised by that. So nice to see the Knicks actually getting better. Nice to see a New York team moving on. The Nuggets and the Clippers. I am just shocked. 1, the Clippers are playing so well, and 2, that the Nuggets are, I don't want to say the Nuggets are playing bad, but I've seen the Nuggets play better.
Yeah, well, when you fire your coach with 4 games to go in the season, it's really going to hurt your playoff opportunities.
Yeah, I was kind of stunned at them doing that. I kind of thought it was going to motivate the team, kind of shake things up, get them ready for the playoffs, kind of light a fire, and just really hasn't, made it happen. So maybe it's just matchups. Maybe after they get out of this round, if they, win this round against the Clippers and move on to the second round, maybe they'll get a better matchup where they can actually do a little bit more.
Plus, last night, it seemed like James Harden got into a hot tub time machine and went back to younger James Harden.
Oh, he did. He bossed out last night. Moving into how do we see the playoff structure now? In the East, in the NBA, we have all of our answers. We know that the Cavaliers defeated the Heat fairly soundly. I don't know how the Heat got into the playoffs, but hey, they did. Congratulations to getting that far. And then we saw the Pacers and Bucks having a series where the Pacers just took it to the Bucks. I thought we were going to get something better out of that, but we didn't. So in the second round, though, we will see the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Pacers playing.
That's going to be a great series.
That'll be a great series right there. A lot of young guys. Should be fun. Bottom half of the bracket, we see the Knicks we saw the Knicks take down the Pistons to move on, and we know the Celtics defeated our Orlando Magic to move on. So we will see number 2 and number 3, Celtics-Knicks. That's got to be a great rivalry game to watch in some playoffs.
Yeah, I just think Boston's too deep, and I think it's a gentleman's sweep.
I can absolutely see that one because the Celtics are just a boss of a team. I mean, I picked them to be coming out of the East as the champion anyway. So even though the Cavaliers had first, and Cavaliers deserve first because they had the best season, but that Celtics team just has so much firepower to it that I just think they can handle the younger Cavaliers that are playing with a lot of spunk, playing with a lot of energy. But you can also see sometimes out there that they're playing like kids.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Indiana beat Cleveland. Indiana's playing very well. Apparently, Tyrese Halliburton's dad needs to watch the rest of the playoffs on TV now.
Yep. They had that. So the team had a little sit down with John Halliburton, father of Tyrese Halliburton, and basically asked him, please stay away from the Pacers for the rest of the playoffs. And he did agree to it. And I don't think he fought anything about it and just said, yep, I was wrong. My bad. Yeah. I'll step away from a minute. So for the bad situation it was, everybody seems to be handling this in the right way so far.
It could have been a whole lot worse. It also could have been a whole lot better by him not stepping foot on the court, but it could have went a whole lot worse.
But I mean, if you look at if you watch the replay of that, everybody's on the court. I mean, there's more than just players and NBA officials and people working for either the arena or the NBA on that court. So I mean, does the NBA need to do something for when the game's done to keep people just, unless you've got, one of those special passes or you're a player or a coach or something, you're not seeing this floor.
Yeah, I mean, and every other sport does it. The only time you rush the field in football is when you beat Alabama.
Yeah, and the game is, fully done there too. And they try to keep people back, but, when it's that many people, especially college kids, good luck to you.
Yeah, you need to have credentials, I think, if you're on the floor. I think it's getting a little crazy out there. Too many instances where you have fans getting too close to athletes. Family members kids, all that kind of stuff. I mean, like, they need to stay away, not only off the floor, but I think it's, even when they have the press conferences and you got like the Steph Currys of the world that want to have like their children up there while they're interviewed, and there's a time and a place. Yeah, I think. And like, I mean, it's like one day a year, like a lot of businesses, they have like
take your kid to work day.
Yeah, bring your kid to work day. So like, maybe one day do it, and have a thing like for the league where they can do that. I think the rest of the time, be professional, handle your business. You got these same players and athletes that if somehow or another their children get disparaged or somebody, cracks jokes or whatever, they want to get all up in arms and, and hate on people for doing that. But if you're bringing your children into the spotlight like that, you're kind of putting a target on them as well, and yourself for criticism. So I think it's like a two-edged sword. So like, so one way you can eliminate all that, just don't have them there. And then if you don't have them there, you don't have any controversy. You don't have things like, Halliburton's dad coming on the court, kind of like how Harry Douglas put it the other day, like, Giannis should have slapped him upside his milk dud, because I think that would have been kind of fitting, and honestly, maybe if something like that were to happen and like somebody were to get stomped out there on the court, like in public, maybe it would,
make a bigger of a difference.
Yeah, maybe people would think twice.
Yeah,
like
not the Pacers, because then we go back to Malice.
Regardless, it's just like, what has to happen before they do something? Like, why wait and be reactive when you can be proactive, in the situation? And I just think that's the case. Everybody wants to just be cute and, not really, drop the hammer, because nobody wants to, I guess, be made an example of. But maybe you should make an example of somebody and then, curb all this stuff before something really bad does happen to somebody.
Do you put like a little 3-foot fence around between the end of the sideline?
I don't know what they come up with, but I mean, like, even at the Pittsburgh game this past week, you had a fan fall like 21 feet, and I mean that, and there's guard railings around there, and you got nets that go around the stadiums for the balls, and don't get me started on that, because that's how I got my nickname. And like, I mean, like, how many more other ways do we have to try to save people from themselves, like, and put disclaimers on everything, like, there's going to be consequences for stuff that you do, right? So if you're dumb enough to do stuff like this, you should have some consequences. They should make them pretty stiff so as to make it to where people don't want to do these things. Like, if maybe he got his right to go to the arena, or maybe any arena in the league, taken away, even though he is the father of an NBA player, that would make people think about it. Like, hey, now I can't go watch my kid. Like, I worked all these years maybe bringing my kid to practices and games and everything, and I wanted to like relish in the like just the glow of knowing that, my son, like, is a success, and partly because of what I might have done, like working extra hours, overtime, whatever. And now you can't, right? So that's got to hurt. So take that away, punish people, take, away what they want, and then maybe you don't have this kind of junk happening.
I think I heard the best fix to this specific problem of the father coming out on my way into the studio from work today. I forgot who was on, but they're like, put him in the press box or the luxury suites. Put all the family up in the suites. And that way, no one's going to attack the family like people have attacked and said stuff about other family members and close members. And then B, he can't get on the court from the suites.
Well, it's going to take him longer to get down.
Yeah, it's going to take him a lot longer. Then Giannis is off the court and the opposing team's off the court. But really, basketball is the only sport that there is no barrier between player and fan.
So far.
That front row of fans is right there listening to the bench.
They're not putting a wall up. They're not going to put plexiglass up like in the NHL or nothing like that to separate, So like I say, I think you have to come up with stiffer fines, stiffer rules, stiffer penalties, to curb this kind of stuff. If you do penalize people bad enough, if you make it where it's like trespassing or something, you can get arrested for it, and then you can have like a criminal record, maybe people again will think twice about doing stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, everybody now that sits in those front rows that are down by the court, before the game, you'll see an employee with the team. They'll go by and they have a form that you sign that says, I'm not going to jump on the court. I have a chance of the ball hitting me. I got a chance of, a guy running into
falling
me.
in my lap.
Stuff. Yeah.
And then on top of that, like, these seats that these people are sitting in too, these aren't cheap seats. These aren't the types of seats that, Joe Schmo off the street can just go buy a ticket like anytime he wants to and go to these games. I mean, this is some serious money you have to throw down to some of these games to go and sit there. So you would think the people that have this kind of money to be able to do this would have a little bit more sense, I mean, just because you have money doesn't mean you're smart, doesn't mean you got your crap together. But you would think people of that ilk would just, have, a little bit more sensibility, be a little bit more aware.
A little more couth to it. All right, guys, we are going to head on into a break. After our break, we will talk some MLB, and I'll give you a little bit of a Braves update. You are listening to the Afternoon Underdogs, coming to you live from the CBC Construction Studios.
Keep the game going with ESPN Northwest Florida. Just because you get out of the car doesn't mean the Sports Talk and Live play-by-play have to end. Just say, hey, Alexa, open ESPN Northwest Florida. From Michigan Avenue to the man cave, from the car to the kitchen, we've got you covered. Keep the game going. Hey, Alexa, open ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good afternoon. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with Friday's weather forecast. Partly sunny the remainder of the day with temps near 80 and a wind 10 to 15 miles per hour. Partly cloudy skies tonight and a temperature of 72. About the same tomorrow, around 79 with some clouds in the morning and then a possibility of thunderstorms. Partly sunny in the early morning, but otherwise a possibility of thunderstorms Sunday and warm around 79. This forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for keeping that dial on ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Want to experience the ultimate car wash? At Tommy's Express, you'll love our open and bright tunnels, easy loading, flat belt conveyor, unlimited membership, and free vacuums and mat washers. Try us for free. Text WASH 415 to 86697 to send our best wash, The Works, directly to your phone. You'll love the sudsy clean, ceramic wax, underbody flush, spot-free rinse, and tire gloss. Experience the difference and visit Tommy's Express today. Offer valid to new guests only. By participating, you consent to receive promotional and information text from Tommy's Express. Message and data rates may apply. Message frequency varies.
Los Rancheros has been doing it right for 20 years. Los Rancheros brings a top-shelf dining experience to you with the opening of their beautiful new building. Watch all college and pro games on Los Rancheros' 14 large-screen TVs with great drink specials daily from 2 to 5 and during all the games. Los Rancheros, the place for live sports and great food on 23rd Street between Jenks and Harrison.
2025 season is on, and every win brings Braves country a little closer.
Marcel tags one to deep left field, and it's nothing but the taillights on that thing.
Tonight, Truist Park will be rocking for a huge rematch against Freddie Freeman and the LA Dodgers, live from Atlanta.
Braves back home. Coverage starts at 6 o'clock, 6:15 first pitch. Your home for the Braves on the Gulf Coast, 104.3, 101.9 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Broadcasting from the CBC Construction Studios. Get the edge on the competition with the latest lines, expert picks, and everything you need to place your bets. Elevate your game day experience with ESPN Northwest Florida. Now back to the Afternoon Underdogs. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Afternoon Underdogs on the air, coming to you live from the CBC Construction Studios. And if you are looking for a job right now, CBC Construction is hiring. You can go down to their office or you can visit their website to fill out your, fill it out. Let them know. You might be building your new career while building Bay County. And you can give us a call. Give us a text, 850-215-6290. This is on the Jed Lawyer call and text line. And if you need any help from Jed, give them a call or visit their website, jedwins.com. Plenty of great live shows for you here at ESPN Northwest Florida. You can get the days started with the Coach James Hale Show every morning on the weekdays from 7 to 9 o'clock. Then you can tune in the midday for the Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey from 11 to 1. And, of course, you're hearing it right now, the Afternoon Underdogs, 4 to 6, Monday through Friday, heard right here, 104.3 Panama City, 101.9 Port St. Joe, and make sure you download our app as well. And after you download the app from the Apple Store or Google Play, ESPN Northwest Florida, make sure you hit the Enter Contest button because we are giving away T-shirts right now. Chef Ross, what you got for us?
All right, it's that time of the year again, guys. 4th annual Pop's Pig Pickin' Barbecue coming up Father's Day weekend. June 14th, we're at the Break Room. It's at 2727 Joan Avenue, right on the corner of Joan and North Lagoon. I'm doing a whole hog barbecue this year. Pool tournament barbecue tickets are $20. Pool tournament is at $15. All proceeds are going to help storm relief for the next upcoming hurricane season. And it's all going to be a great time. Barbecue starts at noon.
All right. Thank you, Chef
Father's
Ross.
Day plans. Yeah.
Exactly. Go out, have a good Father's Day meal. And he said whole hog, people. That means the entire pig will be present.
From rooter to tutor.
There we go. Gotta love having a whole pig. Ever done that before, Chef Ross?
I've done a couple small pigs.
Cool. I've done a couple of them myself. I have a lot of fun doing that. Just a great time to be had by all. Let's roll on into some Major League Baseball scores from yesterday. Cubs defeated the Pirates 8-3. Paul Skeens just absolutely got shell-shocked yesterday. Cubs going deep 3 times in the 5th inning, including back-to-back by Tucker and Suzuki. Just chased him right off. 3 home runs, the most home runs Paul Skeen has given up in a game in his Major League career so far.
Speaking about that Pirates game, tell me about the dude that fell out Wednesday night during that Pirates-Cubs game.
Yeah, so what happened there was, it was somewhere about, I'm going to say it was the 6th inning. Cubs were in the field. Andrew McCutchen was at bat. And just a long fly to left center. And the guy was standing on what they call the Clemente wall, which is a 21-foot wall, match 21 for, Roberto Clemente. And he was just apparently standing just at the top of the wall. And you can kind of see on some of the angles, you can see something falling off, but you don't really see how or why he fell, because he wasn't reaching for the ball or anything, because the ball was a couple hundred feet away from him to the right. So I don't know if he just fell or if he got up and leaned over the fence to look at the ball flying. I'm not real sure there, but
the reports I heard is he was trying to get on the field.
So he was trying to
is the worst place in the entire stadium to try and get on the field.
Yeah, I mean that stadium has some 3-foot walls down right and left field side.
Oh, he got on the field.
That's an easy to jump over there, because you can get down to the edge of the nets, and right before the post, you can
with
get
the
in.
way he fell, I don't know what happened, because his head hit the base of the wall.
Yeah, his head, it was like he hit head first. So, I mean, if you're trying to jump on the field, wouldn't you want to lead with your feet?
Would think.
Yeah.
So it's gentleman is still in a hospital in the Pittsburgh area
condition.
and still in critical condition.
Which is why I'm going to hold my jokes till he's okay.
Till he's better. Yeah, that's tasteful, Ross. We appreciate that. Very tasteful of you. Truly appreciate that. So, Cubs medical staff, Pirates medical staff, EMS, police, everybody around there did exactly what they needed to do to make sure that that man can have his best chance at making it back to another Pirates game maybe in the future. So, hopefully he does all right. But don't jump on the field, people. Just
any fans out there that want to get on the field, don't do it.
Yeah, just
and if you are dumb enough to do it, don't pick the highest point possible to do it.
Yeah, don't be jumping off the green monster. I'm waiting for somebody to try that one next in Boston. That would go horribly wrong. I am absolutely sure of that one. All right, more baseball scores. We had the Kansas City Royals taking on the Tampa Bay Rays down at Steinbrenner Field in Tampa. Royals come away with the 8-2 victory. Cardinals Reds taking place in NL Central battle. The Cardinals take a beating from the Reds. Cardinals only come up with 1 run, while the Cincinnati Reds get 9. Diamondbacks traveled to Flushing Meadows, New York to take on the New York Mets. Juan Soto gets his first home run in Citi Field, actually gets 2 home runs on the day. Still not good enough to give the Mets the victory. The only 2 runs on the day were both of Soto's, and the Diamondbacks get 4 runs. Minnesota Twins, Cleveland Guardians take it into extra innings. Takes them 10 innings for the Guardians to defeat the Twins 4-3. Don't listen to this one, Chef Ross, but the White Sox, 8 runs. The Brewers, 0 runs. But did give the White Sox their 8th win of the season.
Yeah, and we gave the Rockies their 5th win of the season.
You're just generous. You guys are just generous.
Yeah,
It's so nice.
Series we need to sweep. But
So nice of you guys to do that for those guys. All right, we'll move on to the Athletics. Got 3 runs. The Texas Rangers, no runs. This game taking place in Texas. The Nationals taking on the Phillies. That score was 4-2 in favor of the Nationals, being played in Philadelphia. The Boston Red Sox travel north of the border to take on the Toronto Blue Jays. Blue Jays get the victory 4-2 over the Red Sox. Detroit Tigers, Los Angeles Angels. Detroit Tigers 10, Angels 4. And then we will end with the nightcap game. The Rockies get the victory over the Giants 4-3. The Rockies with 6 wins on the season. Congratulations, guys, for win number 6. You're now in position to almost win 30 games if you keep this pace up. That's pretty bad.
That's pretty horrible.
That's pretty bad. We're talking like, Cleveland Spiders 1909 bad when they had 125, 127 something crazy losses. And this was also back when they were only playing 150 baseball games.
And the White Sox tried it last year, and Colorado says, hold my beer.
Now, White Sox tried last year. They got close, but decided, no, we don't want that record.
And the Rockies are going to show them how to do it.
Maybe. I guess.
But the White Sox this year are going to keep pace too.
They could be battling for the bottom. Those could be some interesting games between the Rockies and the White Sox to just see what happens in those games. See if
September baseball, White Sox, Rockies for the first draft pick.
I don't know. Like I was saying the other day, man, a couple teams you can get rid of.
Yeah.
Like a little bit of contraction instead of expansion.
So when Bud Selig was trying to get rid of the Minnesota Twins, that's when they started going to a World Series and losing the Yankees going deep into the playoffs and winning the World Series. I believe they won their first World Series the year that they were supposed to be kicked out.
They got the warning that, hey, what are you guys doing? Let's see. We'll move on into today's games. Games coming up on this evening. Right now in a delay. It does not tell me what the delay is. The Washington Nationals are taking on the Cincinnati Reds. This game in Cincinnati, 0-0, top of the first in delay. So not quite.
It's probably got to be weather.
I got to say it's got to be weather. They usually say rain or something, but nothing to it.
Yeah, it's rain. I'm looking at the map right now, radar. Yeah, it's pouring down over in that part of the world right now, part of the country. So, yeah.
At least they didn't start that game and then rain delay it, because that's terrible.
Oh, I hate it when they do that. And then you got to restart it. It's better to just...
It kills your bullpen.
It's better to just wait on that point.
If it's at the beginning of the game like that, it's better to wait.
Yeah, much better. Later tonight, actually not that much horribly later, 5:40 for a first pitch. San Diego Padres taking on the Pittsburgh Pirates in Pittsburgh. 5:45 has the Diamondbacks taking on the Philadelphia Phillies. 6:05, the Royals will take on the Orioles. 6:07, Guardians and Blue Jays. 6:10, Twins, Red Sox. 6:10 also, the Athletics of Nowhere will take on the Miami Marlins. 6:40, Astros, White Sox. 7:05, Mariners, Rangers. 7:15, Mets, Cardinals. 8:38, Tigers, Angels. 9:15, Rockies, Giants. The Rays will play today. That will be a 6:05 first pitch. They were taking on the New York Yankees in New York. And, of course, our Atlanta Braves will be heard right here on these airwaves, 104.3, 101.9, taking on the Dodgers. First pitch, 6:15. Pre-game will start here, 6 o'clock, right after the Afternoon Underdogs. And the last game I got on the list, Cubs, Brewers. This game is at 7:10.
It's not American Family Field. It's always going to be Miller Park.
It is Miller Park. I don't care what you say. It is Miller Park. I like Miller Park so much better.
Me too.
It's like it matches Coors Field, Busch Stadium, all those kind of things. It just sounds better.
What's more Milwaukee than Miller?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. If you got a town like that, like you said in St. Louis, Busch Stadium. I mean, like if you have a name that's already synonymous with the town and what's going on there. I mean, pony up the money and just, like, keep it the same, I mean, like, for the advertising stuff, I'm sure some other company might want to offer you a little bit more, but, I mean, being like Milwaukee, what do you think the fans, like, get behind more? It being called Miller Field, or what is that, American Family Insurance?
Yeah, it's American Family.
Yeah, like, come on, man. Like, I don't know. To me, it just, I don't know, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
I bet if you go up and you ask, like, 9 out of 10 Brewers fans, hey, what stadium do you play in? You know what the answer is. Yeah.
Miller Park.
It's Miller Park.
Yeah, unless they were just born like in the last 10 years or something like that, maybe. And then even then, depending on their family members, what they might call it. So.
I think it's only been 3 years that they've made the change.
Oh, yeah.
It's only been a handful of years since it went from Miller Park. I was very disappointed. Like, the first game I tuned in when it wasn't Miller Park, I'm like, what is this? I thought I was watching a Brewers game.
Yeah.
I was like, well, I am, but it is not in the park that I thought it was in.
And it's kind of, you got Wrigley Field still, right? They haven't changed the name.
Still Wrigley.
And they still got it. So if they can do it there,
it's still Fenway Park.
Yeah, it'll always be Fenway. It'll always be Dodger Stadium.
Yeah.
Chavez Ravine.
Yeah, Chavez Ravine.
I think they've changed to something else, some other fancy tech company.
Yeah, but quit with all the high-priced, endorsements by companies, billion-dollar companies or whatever. I mean, we get it, don't have to have your name on everything,
And the thing is I like it better, at least if it's like a local-ish company to the area. That's cool. You're supporting the local guys, but Mercedes-Benz Dome in Atlanta. It's like, how about they don't build a whole lot of Mercedes right there in Atlanta.
Put the logo on there and stuff too, but maybe this is what they should do too. Is some of the money that's being spent for that should go into some kind of trust where that's going to be built like the future stadium. You know what I mean? So instead of the taxpayers having to float the bill all the damn time, like these big corporations, they got billions of dollars that want to slap their name on there, then you could pay for it. You wouldn't have your name on it, right? Then you pony up the money. So take a percentage of that, like I said, and put it towards the new building fund or something like that.
How do you think the owner comes up with his part of the check? Is they just pass that to the naming rights?
Now you got at the stadiums with names. Now they want to put advertising on jerseys, and on helmets and this. Stop it. Come on, it's enough.
They're even starting to they'll do the stadium name, and now they're starting to sell right names for the field.
Yeah.
And that's just crazy. It's okay.
What's the next step?
How many? How many words are we going to associate with the ballpark name?
Pretty soon it's going to be like NASCAR, where the uniforms are going to have all the different advertising all over it, or it's going to be like soccer, where you don't even know which team you're rooting for. It just says Emirates on the front or something like that, and you don't even know which team it is.
Have you ever seen European hockey jerseys, especially in Eastern Europe?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God, they're awful.
It's like a NASCAR car.
Yeah,
it looks like a NASCAR car, with all the advertising.
And then literally the ice, when you look at the ice, there's not a single square inch of ice on it that doesn't have some kind of, Skoda advertising to it.
It's not as ugly as some of these NBA courts I'm looking at, though.
Between the revenue they get from television, the revenue they get from ticket sales, the revenue they get from merchandise, blah, blah, blah. There's so many ways for them to have streams of income to make money,
but
to pay for stuff.
On the other hand, I do like Mike Krzyzewski Court at Cameron Indoor Stadium, or Dean Smith, well, I guess it's the Dean Dome, but Roy Williams Court at the Dean Dome.
Yeah, that's fine. Those are fine because it's still association with the team, with the town, with the university.
Yeah, and it's just somebody that's been at the program for 30 years. It's not on a whim. It's not like
those are the naming right changes I support now. I'm all about and really like a lot.
Yeah, because it's getting crazy because you can come up with Great American Ballpark Field sponsored by Sony Corporation on Chili Skyline on the Skyline Chili Mound.
Yeah, and it's all predicated upon how long the deal is, and then if that company goes bankrupt or something happens, now all of a sudden you got a new sponsor 3 or 4 years later, and you got to change the name again, and it's hard to when we were kids growing up, you could know all the names of the stadiums, right? I can't keep up with them now. I don't care.
The one thing baseball needs to bring back is the bullpen cart. Riding that pitcher in from the bullpen. Speeds the game up.
Maybe.
And another way for the owner to get some sponsorship.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
I love the bullpen cart.
Put the bullpen closer to the mound.
They used to be, though. The bullpens used to be closer to the mound.
They used to be on the side, over by where the on-deck circles would be and stuff.
Yeah, they were just past, go back and look at what Wrigley is, was, they were just literally right past the dugouts. Yeah. They still, the only one stadium still does this, and that's, and it doesn't have a roof right now, but Tampa, down in St. Pete, the Trop, still has warm-ups on the field. I
thought the Giants did.
No, Giants don't anymore.
Okay.
Yeah, they did, but it was when the Cubs and everybody else started getting off the field that the Giants did also. Because the last ones that were left were Chicago, Tampa, and Oakland. And we're not playing in Oakland anymore, so that one's gone, period. Chicago moved underneath the bleachers. So the only one left now Tampa, so we'll see if they actually get a roof on that thing and they go back into it. But it is time for another break, guys. You are listening to the Afternoon Underdogs, coming to you live from the CBC Construction Studios. We'll go over some news and things like that of the sports world when we come back.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
The Atlanta Braves play here.
And just like that, the Atlanta Braves are back.
Alex dives, and he's got it. Terrific play by Alex Verdugo.
Tonight, the Braves host the Los Angeles Dodgers. First pitch is 6:15. Listen to live play-by-play from Truist Park and a rich audio experience on your home for the Braves on the Gulf Coast.
Boy, what a sparkling double play to end the game.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good afternoon. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with Friday's weather forecast. Partly sunny the remainder of the day with temps near 80 and a wind 10 to 15 miles per hour. Partly cloudy skies tonight and a temperature of 72. About the same tomorrow, around 79 with some clouds in the morning and then a possibility of thunderstorms. Partly sunny in the early morning, but otherwise a possibility of thunderstorms Sunday and warm around 79. This forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for keeping that dial on ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Want to experience the ultimate car wash? At Tommy's Express, you'll love our open and bright tunnels, easy loading, flat belt conveyor, unlimited membership, and free vacuums and mat washers. Try us for free. Text WASH 415 to 86697 to send our best wash, The Works, directly to your phone. You'll love the sudsy clean, ceramic wax, underbody flush, spot-free rinse, and tire gloss. Experience the difference and visit Tommy's Express today. Offer valid to new guests only. By participating, you consent to receive promotional and information text from Tommy's Express. Message and data rates may apply. Message frequency varies. Get ready to connect. ESPN Northwest Florida is thrilled to introduce the newest rock stars to the Panama City Beach Chamber of Commerce.
Welcome to the Beach Chamber. Lepo Rents, Bobcat of Panama City, Spark U Healing and Yoga, Summer's Landing Assisted Living, and Wahoo's Express Car Wash.
We're here to champion your success and connect you with this amazing community.
Congratulations from ESPN Northwest Florida.
And the Panama City Beach Chamber of Commerce, reaching Bay County and beyond.
Now, we're live and local inside the CBC Construction Studios. They're number one in the men's room.
I hope this place comes with toilet paper.
The Afternoon Underdogs.
Oh, geez, this is going to be a photo finish.
On ESPN Northwest Florida.
You are tuned into the Afternoon Underdogs, coming live to you from the CBC Construction Studios. And CBC Construction right now is hiring, so make sure if you are looking for work, if you are looking for employment, if you're looking to build that career, contact CBC Construction and see what they can help you with. Give us a call, give us a text, 850-215-6290. Our phone line is sponsored by the Jed Lawyers, so make sure you call in to the Jed Lawyer call and text line. But right now, what do we got going on? We got a little bit
breaking news.
Breaking news. So we have learned this morning that Greg Popovich will no longer be the head coach of the Spurs. He's stepping back a little bit, just a little bit. He's not leaving the sport, not even leaving the Spurs. He will be president of basketball operations. Mitch Johnson, who was the interim head coach while Popovich was back and away dealing with some medical issues, will be the new head coach of the Spurs. So wishing the best for Pop, and glad he's still sticking around in the sport, because the man's a Hall of Famer. Let's face it, he is going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer as a coach. Has absolutely just led the Spurs for, 20 years now?
Or at least, if not longer,
If not longer. I mean,
because he was there back, when the big fundamental was there, and,
he was there when
David Robinson.
Yeah, he was there with the Admiral.
And stuff like that too. So he's been there for quite a while.
Yeah.
A lot of players going through. Yeah, it's end up like Pat Riley probably. The way he's managing the team, president. Kind of like the big dog. Of course, we got to thank him for load management too. Thanks a lot, Popovich, for bringing us that. If it wasn't for you, we probably wouldn't see the prevalence of it. Going through the
I
league.
still think we'd see it.
Probably would, but because the Spurs had so much success with using it, though, too, with winning championships. I think if a team tried using that and it didn't have success, you wouldn't see it, because it's so much of a copycat league. And he just becoming like kind of a trendsetter. Everybody just kind of, jumping on board.
But it's just such a change. I think we still would have seen it even without the NBA because we're just seeing it go into so many other sports that, again, it's still copycats.
Yeah,
even if you don't see it in the NBA, they'll see it in another sport and go, that can relate to basketball, so let's try it.
We'll look at pitching. In baseball, we just talk baseball. I mean, pitchers now 5 innings. It's like, wow, they went 5 innings.
Yeah, that guy did, 6 innings last night. He went for a long time.
Yeah. He put in a good day's work. Yeah, 6 innings. Yeah, where most guys would go like an extra 2 or 3 more innings, like, 30 years ago. So
yeah, you would have seen guys like you wouldn't have talked about pulling guys until they at least hit pitch number 100. Now you're looking at like pitch 70.
They probably don't even want to come out, man. He tried yanking them out, tried yanking to Nolan Ryan.
Yeah, you literally have to pull the ball out of his hand.
In the 5th inning of a game that is scoreless or like might be down by a run or is even winning or something like that. Good luck getting him off the mound.
You got 140 pitches. I don't care. I'm throwing.
Yeah.
Because, that's what it is. So, but wishing the best for Pop. He's had some stroke issues, so hopefully something with a little bit less of a stress level can be good for him.
Let me ask this to you guys, since we calling it, quote, breaking news, right? Because this is something that I see on TV a lot, and I kind of have sometimes a problem with. So how long is it breaking news before it's not breaking news anymore? Like, how long, like, on the clock does it have to go? Because sometimes stuff will happen, like, early in the morning, like, say at 5 a.m., and you'll be watching, say, ESPN or something on the bottom line at 11:30. It's still saying breaking news, and it was like 5.5, 6 hours later. So is it really breaking? I mean, you guys have already talked about it on your network like a half a dozen times and had about, like, another, like, 10 talking heads, discussing it already. To me, it's not breaking anymore. You can't really call it breaking news. Maybe you can just have it on the bottom line as like, just news of the day. But I mean, for me, I guess within the first like hour or two, it's breaking news. And I think after that, it's just news.
I mean, your news cycles nowadays are about 8 hours apiece. So, I'd probably throw it out for, breaking news, probably about 4 hours, so half of that cycle.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I think to me that's a little much. But
breaking news until you stop clicking on it.
I think after like maybe 5 to 6 hours, it's not really breaking anymore, but I would say it could go from breaking news to trending news or like, the latest news, kind of like how the actual news runs, like the latest news of the day, and this is what happened today. I would just change it to trending.
Because I used to work for a small-time radio station in a small town, and they wanted like breaking news every day, and I'm like, I don't think 5,000 people live in this town. What news can we break every single day?
Phil ran the stoplight.
Yeah, basically, breaking news. Miss Marcy's chickens have been destroyed by the fox.
I say you give it so much time. I think after it's run a couple hours, it's not really breaking anymore.
If you get an update, you can keep breaking.
Yeah.
This is true. Yeah, if you get an update, you immediately refresh that cycle. But if there's no update to be given, then it doesn't matter, in my opinion.
Like I said, so like this morning, so Popovich stepping down. So they talked about that first thing this morning. To me, like 2 hours later, it should just be like, okay, we got some news. Popovich stepping down. It's not really breaking anymore.
Pop, we'll miss you though. Well, not breaking news because it's been around too long because we heard about it this morning. But the Tampa Bay Lightning have announced that they will be keeping John Cooper as the head coach for next year. I don't know why they had to come out and say that. Was he like in any kind of serious trouble? I wouldn't think so.
Maybe Coach Prime was after his job.
I don't know, contract maybe. I don't know. Is he like in last year of his deal? Perhaps?
No, he still has another year on his contract.
Okay. Well, I mean, another year. So he's only got this coming up season at to 25, 26.
Yeah,
and that's it.
Yeah.
So then he's like a lame duck coach then essentially. So basically it is kind of news because they're not re-upping him right now. They're not giving him an extension. Okay. So is he in a prove it year where if Tampa Bay here in these playoffs say they get bounced here
other side of the script, if I'm an opposing team, maybe I want him. Maybe I want to take him on and knowing he only has a year left. So, I mean, it goes both ways.
Yeah, and that was my thing. When I read that, is were they talking about firing him? Because, I mean, if they do, please, go ahead. Lightning. Fire John Cooper. Do it right now. Because I would love for him to go coach in Nashville. That's all I'm going to say about that. Because, I mean, it's one of those, if you fire him, it is 4:51 right now. If you fire him right now,
Pittsburgh's
by
looking for a
5
coach.
o'clock, somebody is going to give him a contract.
Yeah, well, it's like Sullivan. He got canned, and the Rangers are already looking to snatch him up.
Yeah, Rangers have already paid him.
Oh, they already have.
They
Okay,
have
so
signed him.
already-
But we don't know what he has been signed to. But Mike Sullivan fired earlier this week by the Penguins after missing the playoffs 3 years in a row.
But he's won 2 Stanley Cups.
But he has won 2 Stanley Cups with them. That was in 15, 16, 16, 17.
Yeah, well, I mean, same thing. I mean, like, you can win. It's been a little while. After a while, you lose the locker room. Team starts tuning you out, whatever. Even like John Cooper, he's a pretty good coach, right? Won some Stanley Cups, with Tampa Bay. Hell, he doesn't even have a background in hockey. The guy's like a lawyer.
He's a lawyer, fully trained lawyer.
So that's like where his background came from. Wasn't even coaching. So it just goes to show you, like, managing egos and stuff like that. It's what, a lot has to do with coaching and, managing personalities and not so much the X's and O's. So, I mean, yeah, he's been there for a while. Maybe, courses run, and then maybe it's time to move on, get, some fresh blood up in there. I mean, it might not hurt them. I mean, they haven't won, right, in a few years now. See how this playoff series goes this season. And if, they don't get the results they want, maybe you do move on, I mean, you got, like, a lot of dudes on that team that are old and, long in the tooth. They've been there for a while. You had to make a, choice on, Stamkos, so I was going to say,
the right choice on that
they
one.
got rid of him, and then probably maybe have to do the same thing with Kucherov here pretty soon, possibly Vasilevsky showing his age right now because he's not looking as good as he's been in the net before. So, yeah, maybe it's time to bring in some new young life into the franchise, including maybe the head coach.
Because it was a first-round exit this year, we know. Last year it was a first-round exit, but the 3 years prior to that, all 3 of them Stanley Cup finals, including 2 cups. So I think it's a little quick to want to get rid of him. But, I mean, like you say, if he has lost the locker room, you've just simply lost the locker room. And it's way easier to fire one coach than to fire 23 players.
It's way cheaper.
Yeah, way cheaper to fire one coach than to fire 23 players. So that's how you fix that issue. But it just doesn't seem to me like he's lost the locker room. The players still seem to respond pretty well to him. You don't see a whole lot of pushback from players.
Is that only what we can see, though? You don't ever know.
That's true.
There's a lot of speculation with that. I mean, what's available to public eye and what's actually being said is very, very different sometimes.
For how I do a judgment really on that is locker room clean out day. Mm-hmm. And when they get the interviews with the players, how do the players approach that?
I like to judge this off of what they look like whenever they first enter the court or the field or whatever. What's the look on their face? And when I was talking about yesterday when the coach is fired up, what is the look on everyone else's face to see how that's kind of sitting with everyone?
Right.
Plus, each one of these organizations has a different level or a different definition of success. Look at the Pittsburgh Steelers. When was the last time they've been relevant in the playoffs? But they're always in the playoffs, so Tomlin's still there. Tomlin hasn't lost the locker room, but 9-8, 9-8, 9-8. You can pencil that in Vegas. 9-8 every year for them.
Yeah, but the Steelers are such an organization that just run with something forever. Because, in the past 30 years, the Steelers have had
their entire since
two
Rooney's
head
ran
coaches.
it.
They've had 3 head coaches in like 60 years.
Yeah.
They had, what's his face for like 30 years.
Chuck Noll from the beginning,
and then
Coward, and now Tomlin.
So they're an organization that just doesn't move quick. I don't know if that's a good or bad thing. We're in a day and age now where things move kind of quickly.
Being loyal, like Jerry Jones. I don't like Dallas, but he's like loyal to people to a fault, to his own detriment.
He's not even loyal to himself.
Well,
the only thing that man is loyal to is showing off.
I guess you could say that, but how long did he hold on to Jason Garrett? He had like many excuses, many a times to get rid of him, and he didn't.
I don't know.
Yeah. But he moved off of McCarthy.
Well, okay, I take that back. I know why.
Yes, he moved off of McCarthy very quick.
It's because he knows he's not going to get anybody seriously that's worth a damn to coach the team.
Put up with him.
Yes, that's the thing. It's like to be the head coach at Dallas, you have to relinquish control, basically. You have to be unempowered, and you have to answer to Jerry Jones and let him decide stuff where maybe you should be deciding or speak on behalf of. And I think a lot of the really good head coaches in the league that have actually won, they're not going to listen to that guy. They're not going to stand behind him and play second fiddle. Yeah, you are the owner, you own the franchise, you signed the checks, but we saw
he does more than sign the checks. He's the general manager.
Well,
so
he's trying to make too many decisions.
Yeah, he's too micromanaging. But we saw Jimmy Johnson, great head coach, right? He won. What happened? He forced him out. What have they done since then?
No,
absolutely nothing.
Barry Switzer did absolutely nothing and got a Super Bowl
Well,
for it.
he took Jimmy Johnson's players, Jimmy Johnson's system, and he basically rode that wave for a whole nother season and was able to benefit a Super Bowl off of that.
Well, you also got to look at Jerry's also incredibly cheap when it comes to paying coaches. Jerry does not pay his coaches.
Well,
he's had like bottom 5 pay over his last like 2 or 3 coaches.
He's also very cheap when it comes to the players, though. We've let so many players walk and become free agents again because he refuses to make an actual contract with people he doesn't like. One thing about Jerry Jones is he's a very knee-jerk reactor. Very knee-jerk reactor, and it's almost like you have to be on his good side. It's like having a redheaded stepkid that you don't like. You just, continue to push them to the curb until they finally walk away.
Let caveman kick them.
All right, guys, end of the hour. Afternoon Underdogs, CBC Construction Studio. Be right back.
It's the PCB Hobby Takeover with Todd. Mondays at 5:20 on ESPN Northwest Florida.
That is a very high-end card and very rare.
Todd talks about coins, trading cards, collectibles, and the amazing stories behind them.
It was the first one that's ever come through my door.
Plus, we'll be taking your calls and questions at 850-215-6290. The PCB Hobby Takeover.
A platform for you to do your hobby.
Mondays at 5:20 on the Sports Talk Monster. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good afternoon. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with Friday's weather forecast. Partly sunny the remainder of the day with temps near 80 and a wind 10 to 15 miles per hour. Partly cloudy skies tonight and a temperature of 72. About the same tomorrow, around 79 with some clouds in the morning and then a possibility of thunderstorms. Partly sunny in the early morning, but otherwise a possibility of thunderstorms Sunday and warm around 79. This forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for keeping that dial on ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Golf is a game that should be fun, but to have the most fun, you need to play your best. That's where the experts at Golf Plus come in. Their friendly staff will guide you through the buying process, answer all your questions, and can help with any repairs you need along the way. Golf Plus is your custom fitting, club repair, and golf retail shop. Golf Plus staff is non-commissioned and will work with you to find the best product for your game, just like they've been doing since 1988. Golf Plus in Dothan and Panama City Beach. Fitting, repair, retail. That's Golf Plus.
This is Patrick with Turf Pro Lawn and Pest Control. Your home is your piece of paradise. Turf Pro Lawn and Pest Control can protect your home from unwanted bugs and insects. These pests can cause damage, bring in germs, spread bacteria, viruses, and other problems. To stop and eliminate this from happening, our pest control service is what you need. Call Turf Pro Lawn and Pest Control at 850-890-5820, 850-890-5820, or look us up on Facebook at Turf Pro PC.
WGSX Lynn Haven, WVLQ Port St. John. Powered by Panama City Toyota, ESPN Northwest Florida.
The fight for the 2025 season is on, and every win brings Braves country a little closer.
Marcel tags one to deep left field, and it's nothing but the taillights on that thing.
Tonight, Truist Park will be rocking for a huge rematch against Freddie Freeman and the LA Dodgers, live from Atlanta.
Braves back home. Coverage starts at 6 o'clock, 6:15 first pitch. Your home for the Braves on the Gulf Coast, 104.3, 101.9 ESPN Northwest Florida.
You found us inside the CBC Construction Studios. This is where heroes are created, legends are born, and dynasties forged. The Sports Talk Monster, ESPN Northwest Florida. Now back to the Afternoon Underdogs.
And you are tuned into the Afternoon Underdogs, live from the CBC Construction Studios, ESPN Northwest Florida. You can find us on the airwaves, 104.3 Panama City, 101.9 Port St. Joe. You can also find us on your phone. You can download our app. You can get it at the Apple Store or from Google Play. You just get your phone out, you download it, open the app. But while you got the app open, make sure you hit the enter contest button, because right now we are giving away Buffalo Rock Mountain Dew t-shirts for all of those great winners to our contest. You can also give us a call here, 850-215-6290. That is the Jed Lawyers call and text line. And if you need any legal assistance, talk to the fine people over at Jed Lawyers. James Fife, Chef Ross, Caveman Rick, Morgan Hilliard.
Hello.
And we got good old Bone Crusher.
Word. BC.
All right, guys. So what I got here for this section is we have completed the NFL draft, so we're starting to see some Vegas action on over-under wins for NFL teams going into the 2025 NFL season. So we're not going to go over every team, but we'll definitely go over some of the top teams, some of the bottom teams, and see if we think they're right with the over or if we are going to be under. So we'll start off with the teams that are at the top of the list. So,
quick question.
What you got?
Is this regular season?
This will be regular
plus?
season.
Okay.
Yeah, this will just be the regular 17 game
I was
season.
on the same page as everyone. Continue.
Yep, this will be the regular season 17 game schedule.
Word.
So,
I'm ready.
According to some of the people in Las Vegas, 4 teams have a chance for 11.5 wins, over under. So we got the Ravens. How we feeling about the Ravens, Chef? Over, under?
Under.
Cave?
I got over.
Morgan?
I've got right under at 11.
They're one of my Super Bowl picks.
I'm going to be sweating this at 11. But
I'm going to be sweating right at 11.
I'm going to take the Ravens, and I'll take the over on that one. The next team for 11.5, the Buffalo Bills. I'll go ahead and start, and I will actually take the under on this one. Just go there.
I hate Josh Allen. He's a horrible touchdown dancer.
But does that give him 11.5 wins?
I don't know. I don't know. Can he dance in the end zone? I don't know. I'm actually going to take them just breaking even at 12, just over. I actually really like their odds.
Yeah, the division that they're in, I think, is, kind of helps them out. I think playing against Miami a couple times a year and against the Jets is going to help them. So I think they'll probably get the over and be right about 12.
Yeah, in the AFC East, I give them the over. New England's a year or two away from competing in that division.
That was a video, by the way. There's like this little boy who really just doesn't like Josh Allen, and he's like crying in it. He's like, he's just a horrible touchdown dancer.
I don't like his dances.
That's literally all he says in the video.
That's how we should judge how much guys get in the NFL. How good is your touchdown dance?
Oh, nothing better than a fat boy dance, though.
Gotta love the good fat guy dance when they get a touchdown.
I don't know if anyone did better than the Ravens this past season with their little choreographed sellies. It made me really happy.
A lot of teams are doing that. It's entertaining. Like, some people don't like it. I don't care. Let the kids have fun.
I really, really enjoy seeing a nice, like a good little, like different celly, like they did the Camp Rock, the Boy Scout one. I can't remember who did that one. That was also a really fun one.
The Vikings did a bunch of cool ones.
Yeah, the Vikings did a bunch of great ones. So I love, that's my favorite part of when they score. You have also the Eagles who did the Snow Angels in the snow. That was really fun. I like when they're like hyped up and it's enthusiastic and
I don't know.
exciting.
It's cool. Just don't show them all the time on the television, That way there's more game time, cut to different stuff. That's what I'm saying.
Rick, do you want more dancing in the NFL? Is that your preference?
No.
He wants more commercials.
I want more plays. I want more action on the field. More time for football.
All right, still at 11.5, we got the Kansas City Chiefs.
Under.
Yeah, I'm going to say under on the Chiefs, too. I think they're right at the top, might be over now.
I'm going to also take the under. I think they're about to hit a little slump.
Clean sweep, all unders. I'm going to go under as well. All right, we'll move on into the Eagles at 11.5. Morgan.
Don't mess with the babies. Definitely over. I'm taking it over
are you
here.
serious? You kidding me? Yeah, over.
I'm not saying that just because Rick's sitting next to me, by the way.
I mean,
I'm sitting next to Rick, and I'm saying under.
It's the best probably roster in the NFL, man. Like top to bottom.
Washington's good, and they're in a little tougher division, so.
Washington's in my division. I own that division, so good luck, Commanders.
Man, but you got Dallas twice. That can be kind of nice.
The Giants
for you.
twice.
You got the Giants twice. That can be nice for you.
Yeah.
So
I think the Giants are going to surprise people. I'm not saying the Giants are going to be good, but they're going to win a game or two they're not supposed to.
So what did you go over under for the Eagles?
I went under.
Jeff went under. I'm going to go over for the Eagles. I think we're going to start seeing the Eagles kind of becoming the Chiefs right now, and we're going to, well, we've already seen the Eagles in a couple of Super Bowls in the last 5 years, and I don't think that's going to be stopping in the next couple of years rolling forward. We'll do the 10.5 as well. 10.5, Lions, Chef Ross.
I hate to say it, but over.
I think they're going to get under. I think it'll be right at 10, actually. The division's getting tougher for the Lions. I think still, man, they got to show me. You got to one NFC championship game and nothing much more after that, so show me more.
They're regular season champions.
This is one I'm gonna sweat. I can't really take a side on this one because I think Dan Campbell's doing something really great in Motor City, but I think they're also on a little bit of a revenge streak. I think they need maybe one more season, maybe two, just to kind of figure out exactly what works for them, exactly like we just saw the Eagles do. This was one I sweat right at the line. I'm not really sure, honestly.
We'll take it. I will go with the under, but I'm going to kind of sweat it because I think it's going to be somewhere near 10. I like Dan Campbell as a coach. Great motivator, gets guys to play hard, but I don't think he's really an X's and O guy. And he lost both of his coordinators in this offseason. So I kind of worry about that and what that kind of will have to entail to bringing them
He's also not going to have his top 35 defensive players on the injured list this year either.
That'll be well, we hope not.
Yeah.
Hope not.
You never know.
That could still happen. That could still happen. We could still get plenty of injuries. The other team at 10.5 in Vegas, the San Francisco 49ers. Start with Morgan.
I'm going to take the under on that one.
Rick?
This one's tough for me. I'm like right here. I don't know which way to go. You got to think that the injury bug's not going to catch him again like it has like last season and whatnot. So I'm going to say over, but I'll probably regret that.
I'm going under. The injury bug's not going to catch him, but their cutting players bug is going to catch up to him.
I'll go with the under for the 49ers. I'm looking at like probably maybe 8 or 9, probably 8 wins, because there was a lot of turnover. Now, not saying a lot of turnover is bad, but when your turnover is guys that you were relying on for the last few years, you got to rebuild and see what you got. So they might have it. They might not. So, well, just have to wait and see which one of us are right. Now let's go to the opposite end of the spectrum. Let's go to the teams that look like they're not going to be winning a whole bunch of games. And we'll start with the team that Vegas apparently thinks is just going to be dead awful. The Cleveland Browns at 4.5. Chef Ross.
Give me the over. Why not?
Yeah, if Flacco can stay healthy and he can start, say, the majority of the games this season, I think it'll be over then. If something happens where Flacco can't start then and they have to go with the youth, then, yeah, it's probably going to be under. But I'm gonna preface this with saying Flacco will stay healthy, so I'll go with the over.
But what about Kenny Pickett?
What about him? He'll be lucky if he makes the
team. Morgan.
I'm going to take just over maybe 6 or 7. I don't expect to see anything really crazy from them. The only thing they still have had going for them is my lovely Aggie legend, Myles Garrett, which after all his talk, he decided to say, I don't really see anything crazy coming from them, honestly.
All right. I am, 4.5. It's just such a low number. They're also playing in the North, so they'll see the Browns. We'll see, Pittsburgh twice. They'll see the Ravens twice. We'll see the Bengals twice. I don't like them in any of those games, so that automatically gets me up to 6 losses on the season.
Pittsburgh doesn't have a quarterback at all. All their eggs are in the Aaron Rodgers, I'm not retiring basket.
Yeah, but I still think he shows up. And I think he'll be in a better place there with Tomlin than he was at any point with the Jets.
I don't know. Aaron Rodgers is just outdated at this point, and I'm so sorry, but it might be time to figure out something else in the playbook other than stepping on the field.
Actually, if he's smart, I think he holds out till preseason training camps open up, all that kind of jazz. Somebody's going down with an injury, right? You see it every year, right? Somebody will be desperate. Somebody will throw them the bag because they have an opportunity in their mind, anyways, at least maybe in their mind, that they can maybe make a Super Bowl run, right? Because some of these franchises, we know, like somebody like Aaron Rodgers coming in might not make a difference, but there's some franchises out there that might think, hey, he might be able to help them out.
I think he does make a difference in Pittsburgh.
I could say if something like that happens.
But he's got to go there sooner than later because he's not going to be able to pick the playbook like he did for the Jets.
Yeah, but again, his 41, 42-year-old quarterbacks won like 3 MVPs. That they're probably not going to care about that too much. I think a lot of teams are going to think that somebody like him is going to be able to come in, step in pretty quick, and then be able to produce. So because of that, I think he probably waits it out until somebody gets injured, and then he gets lucky and he gets a bag thrown at him.
What if he waits just long enough, like you're saying, for training camps, and then there's better talent, better all-around talent, and he's not playing, and instead of just hurting his feelings, maybe they buy him out and tell him to just go home. That would be really crazy to see as well.
That would be fun.
That would be a fun little story. That would be breaking news worthy.
Breaking news. That would be breaking. Aaron Rodgers goes home.
He's already said, though, that he's willing to play for a little bit of money.
Yeah.
So it's got to be the right fit. And the only team out there that's looking for a quarterback right now is Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I mean, he's not going to go out there.
Fit.
He's not going to go out to some franchise where he's going to get beat up the whole season and just make, chump change. If he's going to go someplace, he's going to feel he's got an opportunity to actually do something, I think.
Yeah, he's not going to go to the Titans and just get, driven into the ground.
I'm not the only one that says that Morgan's not wearing pink.
I know. I just saw that. Carla, I know I don't have pink on. It's not Wednesday, but I do have pretty pink nails.
Ah, they look great. All right, 5.5 now, so we're stepping up one more game. Giants at 5.5 got themselves a brand new shiny quarterback. Does it make a difference? Chef Ross.
Like I said, I don't have a whole lot of faith, but they're going to win a couple games that they're not supposed to, so I'll give them 6.
So 5.5, I think that's right about where they're probably going to be, is between 5 and 6 wins again. I'll say NFC's kind of weak, too. Give me the over.
Morgan?
I think I'm also going to take the over on this one. It's just going to be dependent on how the quarterback fits in the pocket, though, and how he can command the line as well, and just if those guys really respond, how that works together. I'm interested to see how it plays.
I'm going to go over for the Giants. Again, East, not an awful division,
Carter's a stud.
But Abdul Carter's going to go out. If they can get... If Jackson Dart can carry them to 1 or 2 wins, they'll definitely hit 6. So I will take the over on that one.
They got Russ.
They do got Russ. They got the famous Jameis.
Yeah. I love him. He's so cute. He's adorable.
All right, let's go to the other side of the stadium. The New York Jets, 5.5. I'm going to go ahead and call it under.
Yeah, I'll say under.
I bet we're sweeping this under.
I think like 3 games.
I think we're all sweeping under. Especially if they stick with just who we were just talking about.
I mean, they might not get their first game until after Halloween or something.
That puts Arch Manning as the Jets quarterback in 2026, 27.
Feel bad for that kid.
You
can't really go there either. I mean, we haven't seen really that much out of Arch. I mean, there's, he has the potential maybe of being a first round pick like that, but until he takes a team on his back and actually does something, I don't know. I think there's some other people that you might be able to, forecast ahead of him potentially.
What you got, Morgan?
Oh my God, I'm so excited to say this. I'm still sticking to my narrative that he doesn't know how to play downfield. I think he's a glorified running back, probably at best. At most, he might be a glorified running back until he actually gets on the field and executes the arm or does anything more than the 2 to 5 plays we've seen. I'm not counting him in anything. I'm also still so convinced this is why they didn't have a spring game, because he wasn't ready.
I just don't think anybody wants to do spring games anymore.
I really enjoy them. I think it's a good look at what people look like, and especially not against another team. I mean, you get a chance to put guys in positions of, this is something we might not ever call, but if we were to call this, can you execute this? Can you put this ball where we want this ball? That's the kind of thing I'm looking for in a spring game.
You and every college agent love watching spring games.
Yeah.
Because the agents are telling these players they can make a lot more money at that school if they transfer right off the spring game.
What's funny is a lot of the people I work with, or especially specifically one of the attorneys, has told me so many times that I would benefit so well from really studying film, and I'm like, it's not for me in the future, but I do actually enjoy going back and watching. I went to the gym the other night and rewatched our entire spring game at the gym.
I love watching film, but it's got to be hockey. I just can't do it most. I can do some baseball film, especially some pitching film, but football film, I'll rewatch a football game, but I can't just sit there and just rewatch the same play over and over and over again.
You really could, though. I
could.
Breaking down the mechanics of it is one of my favorite parts, seeing who was where and where they almost slipped. Where they actually slipped and where they messed up is one of my favorite things, because who cannot do this and who can? And that's how I judge where my next pick will be for the coming weekend.
You are listening to ESPN Northwest Florida, the Afternoon Underdogs, on the air with you. Another 5.5 team, last 5.5 team. The Tennessee Titans got the jersey on today and everything. All right, everybody, go ahead, break my heart.
Again, that's a weak division, so I think they get to 7. Why not?
Oh, yes, hope. Rick?
That's another tough one, too, because like Ross said, it's a weak division, but, man, you guys got a weak offensive line, a rookie quarterback coming in. 5.5. I won't say under. You guys get right at 5.
Rick's with me. All right, Morgan.
I'm going to take right at 5. I'm sorry. I just don't find you relevant in many conversations.
No, it is a totally irrelevant team. It's 5 wins.
2 games against Indy. Houston, those are 2 losses. And who's the 4th team that came? Jacksonville.
New head coach. You still got Trevor Lawrence.
So there's 3 wins. Now, can you get 2 more or 3 more on your not divisional opponents?
No. I mean, I don't even think they get the 3 wins in the division, because they have a history of having a chance to beat the Colts and always embarrassing themselves. So they'll be lucky to get 2 division wins out of this. I don't see any more than that. They'll beat the Jags maybe once. They might beat the Colts once. And they might just get swept like they did last year in the division.
But you got to think, too, if you guys didn't have Will Levis starting a bunch of those games last season, you probably could have won another game or 2, man.
It wouldn't have mattered. Give this game away.
Well, it would have mattered because you might not have got the first pick.
Yeah.
That was,
you know what I mean?
It was kind of nice.
That was 3 games where Will Levis literally said, "Here you go. I don't want the win."
I mean, is Mason the red deer, red zone reindeer going to really do anything for you? Mason Rudolph was the other option that you had.
No, but it was like times. But I mean,
not going to take.
He actually went out there and actually tried to play the quarterback position. Will Levis was out there like literally about falling on his face, and like right before his face hit the dirt, he was trying to chuck the ball down the field, and he was trying to make those boneheaded type plays, man. Like, do the right thing, man. Take the sack,
win the game.
Go down, don't make yourself look like an idiot. Don't make your team look like a bunch of clowns out there, Be a pro, and he was just trying to play like hero ball out there, and that's not what you do.
And that was my big thing with Will Levis, is it was like he just didn't learn. He didn't learn. He went out and did the same thing this week
no progression
that he did last week. And it wasn't a good thing that he did. So I don't... Yeah, he didn't learn. He didn't get it, so I understand.
That's what you'll be able to do with Cam, is you guys will be able to progress game to game, week to week and stuff, I think, at the quarterback position. Even if the offensive line is weak and he does have to scramble around, like you said, he'll probably learn what I got to do with the guys in front of me to, like, give myself an extra half second to throw the ball or just whatever, But I'm sure he'll figure it out because... Well, I mean, look at his career, like, in college. I mean, Will Levis, he put touchdowns up, but...
He made Malik Neighbors look like an all-pro player that one week that Green Bay won and won the game.
Yeah. I think Cam Ward will do a really good job, honestly.
Even if he does a bad job, he's not going to do a horrible job.
I think he has enough discipline on the field to really, make a presence and change it around for you guys that it's enough to get your fan base, back in it again. I think he will do a good job for you. I really do believe this. And now Will Levis, I feel like he had a lot of flack, the thing that happened with his viral video and et cetera. I think he just kind of gave up and just kind of accepted, like, okay, well, everyone only knows me as this one thing. I'm going to go be as meme-worthy as possible. And I mean, I literally have so many images of him saved on the field of him just flopping all over the place. And like the one where he's like on the ground, he's crazy. But I think Cam Ward's going to come in and really do something for y'all.
I mean, Cam Ward came into college as a no-star recruit and got drafted first overall, so apparently you can teach the guy something. That's the big thing I can say about him.
I think he's going to have a very dominating presence, and I think as your season progresses, you're going to go from this maybe laughing stock to this, we have the Titans coming up this weekend.
And it's the NFL. Things change quickly. So, but right now, it is time for a break. We will send it, pay some bills. This is ESPN Northwest Florida, the Afternoon Underdogs, coming to you live from the CBC Construction Studios.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
The Atlanta Braves play here.
And just like that, the Atlanta Braves are back.
Alex dives, and he's got him. Terrific play by Alex Verdugo.
Tonight, the Braves host the Los Angeles Dodgers. First pitch is 6:15. Listen to live play-by-play from Truist Park in a rich audio experience on your home for the Braves on the Gulf Coast.
Boy, what a sparkling double play to end the game.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with your latest forecast on ESPN Northwest Florida this Friday. For tonight, partly cloudy skies and a low of 72 with a light breeze around 5 miles per hour coming out of the south-southwest. Tomorrow morning, a likelihood of thunderstorms and mostly clouds with temps around 77. In the afternoon and evening, possible thunderstorms and light showers and a temperature near 77. Moving into Sunday, about the same with a high of 79 and raining lightly. This forecast is brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for tuning into ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Everyone in the area knows that when it comes to portable buildings, Best Way Portable Buildings is the best in portable, period. And now they offer screen enclosures too to help keep those vicious yellow flies, mosquitoes, and no-see-ums away. Need a pole barn? Best Way can do the job. See Best Way Portable Buildings just north of the old mall on Highway 231. Online at bestwayportablebuildings.com. Best Way Portable Buildings, the best in portable, period. And a golden age business.
Dreaming of sun-drenched beaches and a place to call your own in Northwest Florida? Or perhaps you're looking for the perfect investment opportunity. Since 1962, Anchor Realty Florida has been the trusted name in real estate across the Panhandle. Anchor Realty Florida brings unparalleled local expertise to your search for homes, lots, and investment properties. Don't just dream it, live it. Let Anchor Realty Florida anchor your reality. Visit us online at anchorfl.com. That's anchorfl.com.
Now, we're live and local inside the CBC Construction Studios. It's real and it starts now. Back to the Afternoon Underdogs on the Sports Talk Monster. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Afternoon Underdogs, ESPN Northwest Florida, CBC Construction Studios. And if you are currently looking for a job, head over to CBC's website or just go to their office. Give them a visit. Fill out your application. Start building Bay County today. Give us a call, 850-215-6290. This is the Jed Lawyer call and text line. So if you need any legal help, call the fine guys at Jed. So let's get into a little bit more baseball talk. So got a couple of guys moving on into the injured list. The Yankees have placed Jazz Chisholm on the 10-day injured list. Told you yesterday that Giancarlo Stanton going to the 60-day IL list for the Yankees as well. Stanton still not made it into any games yet this season, so having problems with his elbows, which is not a good thing to be having problems with if you're a baseball player, because throwing and batting kind of take the elbows and you need them. Cincinnati Reds have placed Austin Hayes on the 10-day DL with a hamstring. And we know Mike Trout yesterday left the game early. And now today we learn that Mike Trout has bruising on his knee, and he shall be going to the IL again. So this brings me up to our question that we will have a roundtable discussion about right now. Is Mike Trout a Hall of Famer? Who wants to open up the debate?
I will go first.
Chef Ross, take the floor.
The answer is no, Mike Trout is not a Hall of Famer. And his case for not being a Hall of Famer is only going to get worse and worse as he continues to play baseball longer. Because, yes, he's been around for like 20 years, but 15 of those 20 years he's been on the disabled list and not on the field. He is a very good ball player, but it is a Hall of Fame, not the Hall of Very Good. And the best ability is availability, which he hasn't shown over the past 6, 7, 8 years at all. So my vote is no.
I will. Rick?
You can go if you want. All right, I can go.
Go ahead.
All right, I'll say echo what Ross is saying. Like, I don't think he's a Hall of Famer, unfortunately. I mean, he is from my neck of the woods originally, but not being there, injury prone. Had he been healthy, maybe a lot more of his career, he probably would have the numbers, I think, to get him in there. The fact that nothing in the playoffs too, no wins, nothing to show for in the playoffs, no making no runs. Even though he's been with the Angels his whole entire career. All that being said, unfortunately, yeah, I mean, he may get in. There may be enough people out there that'll vote for him. I don't know. But if I get a vote, I can't vote for him.
I think he has. When he first entered the league, he had very, very high potential, but I'm going to also piggyback off of these two answers, and I just don't think he is. I think he has way too much on the downside than he has on the upside, and unfortunate as that is for how he entered the league, it's not going to be how he's leaving.
So for Trout, for me, if you look at his total career, if you look at the averages that he is putting out for an average season of 162 games, he on average has 40 home runs a year. He on average has 102 RBIs a year. His major league average for batting average is 297 for his entire career. That's a great batting average. On base plus slug, 986. For an entire career being near 1,000, that's telling me he's hitting the ball hard when he hits it, and he's also willing to take a walk when it is presented to him, so he's a smart batter. But I'll point these numbers out too. Since 2020, let's take the 2020 season out, because that was that odd year where we just had a weird set of stuff. So let's go up to 2021, 36 games. That's all he played that year. That was a full season too. That wasn't a shortened season at all. 2022, 119 games. Okay, so he missed about a month and a half somewhere in there, but pretty well involved with the team at that point, so he's playing. 2023, 82 games. That's half the season, basically.
That's an NBA season.
That's an NBA season. That's an NHL season. 2024, 29 games.
So my counter to what you're saying, and I completely see where you're going with this, yes, his overall numbers are very, very high, but how much of those seasons, like you just pointed out, is he actually viable to the team?
Yep.
Where you can look at him and say, that guy's got me regardless of what's going on, and it's just not there.
Nope, it is not there.
And those are regular season numbers as well.
Yeah.
Like we talked about playoffs. Nothing there in the playoffs to show either. Hasn't really showed up in the playoffs.
One trip to the playoffs, 2014, when he was 22 years old.
So
against the Kansas City Royals, I do believe that was the year the Royals won the World Series.
You're going to go up against better pitching in the playoffs, better lineups and what have you. So, I mean, like, if you're not getting it done, like in the playoffs and stuff, you can get it done regular season, but a lot of times you might just be going against just average Joes.
Yeah.
So his playoff numbers in the 3 games that he was in, because they only made it 3 games, they got swept. 3 games, 15 plate appearances, 12 at-bats, 1 run, 1 hit, 1 home run, 1 RBI. Got caught stealing once after he took a walk. That makes for a 0.83 batting average.
So, yeah, playoff talk, but even just in the regular season, he's not there enough to make a difference for anybody involved.
In all honesty, he's on the 10-day IL right now. Would anyone be surprised to see him still on the IL in July?
No.
I mean, he's on the 10-day now, and I bet they move it to the 15 just because of who he is. And for me, I would have just gone ahead and put him on the 15 because we can just look at recent history and use it as a judgment and just give the guy a break. Because, I mean, the guy has been trying to carry that team, and I don't know if he was just like
Major League Baseball.
He was the face of baseball for a while. Even while he was injured, he was the face of baseball. I don't know if he really wanted it, though. I think he wanted it, but I don't think he really could handle it.
I think he liked it. I think everyone likes that newfound fame, and I think you like it for so long until everywhere you go, everything is pointed at you, especially with a season as long as baseball is as well. And I mean, between him and Bryce Harper, they both kind of carried that image for a long time.
Yeah. Yeah, Bryce Harper was quite popular. He's still quite popular. Bryce Harper's, I think, more of the face of the league right now. than
like
Mike Trout.
Even whenever he first came in, and he first came in on the Nationals.
Yes.
When he first came in, I feel like he was still very, very popular, very handsome guy. So there's a lot of reason why people are paying attention to him as well. But he's also a good ball player. But between those two, I'm not going to pick Mike Trout, honestly.
I mean, if I'm building a team right now and you say your first pick is Trout or Harper, that's easy.
Yeah.
It's Harper.
The position change really helped Bryce Harper a lot because he came in as a catcher. He was the catcher for the Nationals. And
no, he's right fielder.
Yeah, outfield.
Yeah, right fielder.
Mm-hmm.
And he moved to first because he had to get the
Who was the catcher
surgery.
that came in right after Strasburg that I'm thinking of?
For the Nats?
I don't know.
Ruiz?
Because I swear it was...
Yeah, Harper was an outfielder. He was playing right field, left field, never played center field. And he threw out the ulnar and had the Tommy John surgery. And to get him back quicker for the Phillies moved him to first base because he'd never even played first base before at all, at any kind of a level in baseball. So it was a complete, mostly on-the-job training. I'm sure they worked with him during practices, but a lot of that was just learned
And
in
a
a
good way,
game.
too, for longevity, because we know you can hit. So, I mean, with the DH now in the National League, too, you can kind of take some pressure off of him and off of his body by doing that. And then, hence, maybe he can live out the length of that contract that we signed him for.
Yeah.
Because you still got 7 years on that
Something
one?
like that. Yeah, because it was like a 12-year deal when we got him.
That was a nice long deal. That's one of those things I think during the next CBA that baseball's going to have to try to get that kind of under control.
That's any league, man. That's like in hockey when they do that kind of stuff.
Well, hockey has a cap at 7 years.
now.
7 years not on your team, 8 years on your team.
The Gar Snow deal is one of the things that did that. But I think in any sport out there, any league, I mean, anything more than 5 or 6 years, man, you're really handcuffing a franchise and really just it's something you're probably not going to get a good return on your investment, I think.
Yeah, it's one of those that I don't mind the 8-year contracts. I don't. But you're still not going to probably give that to a guy until he's 25, 26. So you're talking about you're running him till he's 34. Now, some guys still great at 34, some not. But I like these contracts more for guys who are like the heart and soul of your team, that it doesn't matter if they really fall off because they're the face of the franchise. They do great work even outside of just being on the team. Like they're great community people, things like that. Now, those contracts should be handed out to those kind of guys. But like the Preds lately handing out a whole bunch of lengthy contracts to a bunch of old farts, and we saw how that happened. They need to get that under control, but that was their prerogative. That was their choice. They didn't break any rules. They didn't even stretch any rules. They knew what they were doing, and it turned out awful.
Yeah, now, I mean, you even got deals where guys like Ohtani are getting deferred money for the entirety of their contract.
Yeah, that needs to go. That has to go away. Yeah. For the sake of baseball, I think that one has to go away.
I think anything longer than 5 years is really egregious. It's just way too much.
Yeah.
At a time, unless you're talking about someone like you're talking to who is a heart and soul and has proven their loyalty and whatnot, anything longer than 5 is a complete stretch.
Because you just don't know where you're going to be in 5 years, or where that guy's going to be in 5 years, or where the team is even going to be in 5 years. And if you're still, in that contract situation, you can end up in a bit of a contract purgatory looking at the New Orleans Saints right now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely handcuff your team and definitely put yourself back quite a bit.
So I guess from our round table conversation here, we all seem pretty well set that Mike Trout, not Hall of Famer. We all agree on that one?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, Mike. Well, I tried to build an argument for you there for a minute, Mike, but the more I started really looking into it, it was just like, yeah, and it's one of those, if he could have stayed healthier longer, and he would have been putting up his, regular 162 numbers because he was playing closer to 162 games in every season, we'd definitely be having him in the conversation for Hall of Fame. But, something about ability and availability, and it's not happening for Mike Trout. So, best of luck to you, Mike. Hopefully you can come off of that injured reserve list here pretty soon, get back out with the Angels, and watch some good baseball. But does he just need to get out of the Angels? Do you think that could make him any healthier? It's not like the Angels are a team that has a whole lot of history with bad injuries other than him.
I think it's him. I think it's wear and tear. I think it's playing for so long and never really getting a break, like I mentioned, how long this season is. I think it's just the continuous breakdown on the body. I think it's just really the end of the tenure.
I would say if he maybe a different franchise might have done him better. I mean, in being out there at the Angels, he was it, right? For the longest time before they got Shohei. I mean, he was like that. He was the face of the franchise. And when you didn't have like any help around him, either like at bats, in the lineup to give him protection, or like, just more defensive help out there in the field. Yeah, he's he's a good player. He's got a lot of heart. I know, like, early in his career, he tried really hard, and I know he wanted to win. If he didn't have enough help there and all that stuff was on his shoulders, maybe it did wear him down. Maybe it did bring him down.
The Angels did try to give him help, though. They sent Prince Fielder out there after his tenure with the Brewers. He had that random injury that cost him his career. Then they sent Pujols out there, and Albert Pujols forgets how to hit the baseball. But then when he goes back to St. Louis, he has more Hall of Fame style numbers. So they have tried to protect him in the lineup.
Yeah, but I mean, they even had Ohtani there. They couldn't do nothing even in the playoffs with Ohtani there. You had two of the best players that the game's ever even seen with Trout and Ohtani, and you still couldn't even do anything.
Well, I mean, Artie Moreno is an incredibly cheap owner. Because outside of going out and hiring big splashes, Artie Moreno is like Jerry Jones. He loves to go out and sign those big splashes. But the thing is you don't win championships on those big splashes. You win championships on the guys that are batting 7, 8, and 9 in that order. Yeah. Because those are the guys that are going to carry the bottom of that order, so you can return to the top of that order to get those guys to bat again. And Artie Moreno has always been super, super cheap on anybody that did not have a big name attached to them that came out of free agency.
But if you have X amount of dollars for the budget and 3 players are taking up 80% of those dollars, you don't have a whole lot to spend to fill out the roster on 7, 8, 9 hitters or the bench player, the utility infielder.
Well, they won back in, what was it, 02 when they had the Rally Monkey?
Yeah, Rally Monkey 02.
And they won then, and they didn't have the big names like they had with, Trout and Ohtani. So, I mean, there's something to that there.
But that's also when Disney was still owning the team, not Artie Moreno.
Didn't Moreno own it with the Rally Monkey, I thought?
No, I thought Artie Moreno bought it after 02. I thought Artie Moreno purchased the team in 03.
I could be wrong. Yeah, but I mean, I thought Moreno owned it then, but all right.
And if it was like the first year he owned it, so he didn't have enough time to get his
they didn't have that one person taking up the huge contract.
That's what I'm saying, yeah. So you had a bunch of role players and stuff. You had, you just had it divvied up, across the whole entire team. But, like, you had a better team instead of just having one star and a bunch of just, like, nobodies.
I will say your small ball guys mean just as much as your long shot guys. They really do. They can be what makes or breaks you getting on base or getting the lead. They do matter.
Yep. Well, we'll run into a break right now, guys. When we get back, let's discuss if Anthony Rondon is a Hall of Famer. No, just kidding. We are not going to talk about that at all. When we come back, we got our $2 bets, and we will go over this day in history. You are riding with the Afternoon Underdogs live from the CBC Construction Studios.
A 2-run home run.
The Atlanta Braves are back.
Here comes the throw. It's late. Braves win.
And ESPN Northwest Florida is your exclusive radio home for Braves country.
He just wrecked that thing. Straightaway center, a homer for Riley.
Sales, Strider, Acuna, Ozzie, Riley, Profar, and Coach Snitker lead a stellar lineup. Listen live nights and weekends on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Whether you're an experienced investor or first-time buyer, Beach House will provide you with top-notch service to guide you through every step of the process. We make the real estate process fun and easy through effective marketing, strategic advertising, and always a client-focused experience. From single-family homes to full-scale developments, Beach House Sales Development has you covered. Check them out at beachhousesalesfl.com or give them a call at 850-919-3500.
Dreaming of sun-drenched beaches and a place to call your own in Northwest Florida? Or Or perhaps you're looking for the perfect investment opportunity. Since 1962, Anchor Realty Florida has been the trusted name in real estate across the Panhandle. Anchor Realty Florida brings unparalleled local expertise to your search for homes, lots, and investment properties. Don't just dream it, live it. Let Anchor Realty Florida anchor your reality. Visit us online at anchorfl.com. That's anchorfl.com.
PCB Hobby, the beach's premier hobby store for sports cards, comics, coins, and trading card games. PCB Hobby carries the largest selection of boxes and packs from the latest releases of brands like Topps, Panini, Leaf, and more. Looking for a specific player or team? PCB Hobby has a wide assortment of raw and graded cards. They carry parallel rookie, game used, and autographed cards in both modern and vintage. Have a collection you want to sell? We buy, sell, and trade. PCB Hobby on Back Beach Road, just east of Florida Linden. Call 850-320-8388.
The fight for the 2025 season is on, and every win brings Braves country a little closer.
Marcel tags one to deep left field, and it's nothing but the taillights on that thing.
Tonight, Truist Park will be rocking for a huge rematch against Freddie Freeman and the LA Dodgers, live from Atlanta.
Braves back home. Coverage starts at 6 o'clock, 6:15 first pitch. Your home for the Braves on the Gulf Coast, 104.3, 101.9 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
You found us inside the CBC Construction Studios. From Tyndall Air Force Base to the Hathaway Bridge, we're live and local. It's the Afternoon Underdogs. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Afternoon Underdogs on the air, 104.3 Panama City, 101.9 Port St. Joe, and we were coming to you live from the CBC Construction Studios. Give CBC a visit if you need any construction needs, or if you are looking for a job. They are currently hiring, so if you are wanting to build Bay County better, that's the way to be doing it. You can also call us here at the studio, 850-215-6290. That is brought to you by the Jed Lawyers on the Jed Lawyer call and text line. And also download our app through either the Apple Store or Google Play. Download the app. After you get it downloaded, open it up. You'll see the Enter Contest button. Hit that Enter Contest button, because right now our contest is a free for you Mountain Dew t-shirt from Buffalo Rock. And you can always listen to us on the World Wide Web, ESPNPC.com. Plenty of shows here on the airwaves at 104.3. In the mornings, we got the Coach Hale Show from 7 o'clock to 9 o'clock in the morning. Then we have the Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey from 11 to 1. And, of course, as always, Afternoon Underdogs every afternoon, 4 to 6 o'clock. And this is Braves Country. I told you right about it before we got into this section that the Atlanta Braves be heard right here on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Game tonight against the Dodgers. Pre-game will be coming right up next, 6 o'clock. First pitch, 6:15. We will also have the Dodgers and Braves on Saturday. We'll have pregame, 5 o'clock. First pitch, 6:15. And on Sunday, pregame, 4:55. First pitch, 6:10. All three games being played against the Dodgers, and they will be playing those games in Truist Park up in beautiful Atlanta, Georgia. No, not Atlanta. It's up in Smyrna, isn't it?
Close enough.
Close enough. We'll call it close enough. James Fife in the captain's chair. Chef Ross. Caveman Rick. Morgan. BC. Thank you guys all hanging in today for this Friday edition of the Afternoon Underdogs. Friday. Final segment of Friday. Free lines, free phones, just call. Whatever you want to talk about within reason. We will discuss Free Phone Friday right here, ESPN Northwest Florida. But while we wait for your calls, let's go into our $2 bets on the evening. I'll get the ball rolling with the bets. So my first one will go into Major League Baseball. I'm going to be crazy, and I am going to take the Chicago White Sox, and I will collect the 2.5 runs for taking the White Sox. I'll also take the over in runs on that game at 7.5. So my $2, if it hits, I will be getting a cool $6.60. Anybody else got something for me?
Yeah, we talked about it earlier. Colorado Rockies getting their fifth and sixth wins, back-to-back wins. Morgan, apparently the scoop's out. Maybe they were on something. That's what's giving them the ability to win 2 games. But that's pretty much a safe bet, I think, betting against the Rockies winning. So I got, taking San Francisco's money line tonight. The under is at 7.5, so I think under. And the Giants, I'm going to give up the 1.5. Or run and a half, I should say. $2 will win you $7.50 if you do that, so not a bad bet.
All right, I'm going single game parlay 2, and all of my money is bet on Jackson Chourio. He is getting a base hit, he is getting an RBI, and over 1.5 bases, so he'll probably steal a base too. And that $2 with a nice fat 10% profit boost gives me a total of $6.40.
All right, there we go.
I don't even know how to bet. I've actually never bet in my life.
Well, just listen to us right now and you'll learn.
I'm listening.
Just steal one of James's other bets.
Yeah, you can do that too. That's absolutely fine if you want to do that.
I have literally never even placed a bet before.
All right, I'll move on.
You have 2?
I have between us, not an actual one with Vegas.
Oh, well,
You
the
won my
good luck
dollar.
is the Hard Rock's not in Vegas. It's right here in Florida.
You know what? I don't want to give any of them my hard-earned money. That's Chick-fil-A money. That's Dunkin' money. What if I want
Dr. Pepper money?
Dr. Pepper money. What if I want another NFL draft chime as my ringtone? I mean, that's $1.29. So, I mean, there's a lot of places that could
You might need to get another T-shirt too. The Eagles. We drafted a player from where was it? Nebraska. His nickname's the Vanilla Gorilla.
I saw that.
I don't know if you'd like
Oh
that.
my God. That's literally, that might have to be my next shirt. I'm sorry to break up the $2 bets, but, what's really funny is, a little minor league team rebrands every June as something absolutely crazy. Last year, they became the MHC Motor Boaters. This year, they are the Booty Divers. And you can order their merch and whatnot. And I think...
Smart move. You're selling a bunch of cool stuff.
And they rebrand just for a weekend series or, whatnot, whoever their matchup is against. And they sell merch to go along with it. And I feel like that's really, really fun. I might have to invest in one of those shirts.
I like the thought process.
I looked at I looked at the merch earlier. It's good.
Macon, Georgia had a minor league hockey team one time named the Macon Whoopie.
Yeah, and it was the whooping crane was the mascot.
But I mean, everybody knows, what the innuendo was about there.
Oh, absolutely.
I saw a lot of the Macon Whoopie, actually. We were selling out the Macon Coliseum.
There you go.
I saw him play in Nashville. I never went down and watched him play in Macon, but I did watch him play in Nashville. All right, my next $2 bet, we'll go over to the NBA, and we will be part of the game tonight. I'll take the Warriors and give up the points, so I got a Warriors and a -5. I will take the over at 207 because I just think that is way too low, and I know that score is going to get over on it. And I will get Van Vliet of the Rockets over at 15.5 points. My $2 bet, if it hits, gets me a grand cool 12 whole American dollars. Anybody else got one for me?
You got another one, Ross?
I'm looking at, where am I at here? Patrick Mahomes under 27.5 touchdowns thrown next year. My $2 only pays out $3.82.
All right, I like it. Nice big old long futures bet.
It's a ringtone. That's a ringtone price right there.
Rick, you got one? Or you want me to go?
I'll buy a ringtone for you.
All right, how about this one? It's Braves country, right? They're playing against the Dodgers. Might be kind of tough out there tonight, though. But a little 4-leg parlay. Some Braves that didn't get hit the last game. One of them that did, though. Go with Ozzie Albies, Michael Harris, Marcell Ozuna. Those 3 didn't get a hit. Nick Allen did last game.
Yes.
But those 4, if you were to take all 4 of those guys on a $2 bet and they already get a hit, $12.50 is payout. So not bad.
Love it. I got I just thought I was having a stroke or a seizure.
Speaking of ringtones,
it's like whose pacemaker's about to go off?
All right, I got one more for you. Coming from the NHL. I will take the Jets plus the 1.5 on the puck line. I will take the over of 5.5 tonight, and my $2 bet, if it pays out, is $6 whole. Anybody else? Or
right,
we
I'm going
do...
Kentucky Derby.
I'm going to do the Derby next, but go ahead.
Give me Luxor Cafe at 15-1, so that's a $30 payout.
Like it. Anybody else got a Derby pick?
I forgot about the Derby being this weekend, so I didn't even look at that.
No, but if Ross makes that $1.29, I expect him to get a ringtone for my contact, though. I really do. And I get to pick it.
I'll go to the certain app where all my ringtones are free.
Okay. Well, I get to pick it regardless what it is.
We'll do
It's
it.
the Barbie girl.
So we got a bet going on right now, even though she doesn't bet, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so for my Derby, I got my win, I got my place, and I got my show. I got journalism for the win. I got Sandman for the place, and I got the Flying Mohawk for the show. My $2 bet, if it hits, is $18. So there you go, man. Bet on the horses. You got the bigger odds.
Are you doing exact or the box?
Exact. Going for the trifecta.
That's
going
impressive.
for the trifecta. That's I doubt it hits, but hey, that'd be great if it did. But hey, if I lose, $2.
You got $2.
$2.
4 days of Dunkin' coffee right there to be made.
I thought you said 4 days of Dunkin' coffee for $2. And which Dunkin' you going to?
On Mondays, they do a $2 deal. They also do an energy drink deal, and you can get double the points.
Well, there we go. I just don't drink coffee, so.
Me neither.
Well, the more you know. If any of you are coffee drinkers, now you know.
All right. Anybody else have any bets, or we'll roll into this day?
No, I would just say, man, for me, like if I was Kentucky Derby, put $2 on it's $2 on the biggest long shot and see what happens.
There's a couple of them that are 30-1. There's like about 10 chalks that are 30-1. So, and just pick one, man.
Yeah,
there we go. All right, this day in history, it is May 2nd, and on this day, 1939, Lou Gehrig of the New York Yankees does not play against the Detroit Tigers. It is the first time in 2,130 games that Lou Gehrig does not take the field. 1970, Diane Crump becomes the first female jockey to ride in the Kentucky Derby. Her mount, Fathom, finishes 15th in the field of 17. Dust Commander, ridden by Mike Mangiello, wins the Kentucky Derby. This day, 1978, the NFL draft, Earl Campbell from the University of Texas is the first pick, going to the Houston Oilers. This day, 1999, John Elway announces his retirement from the National Football League. 2010, Cleveland's LeBron James of the Cavaliers becomes the 10th player in NBA history to win consecutive MVP awards. And on this day, 2015, American Pharoah rallies in the stretch to beat Firing Line by 1 length. For trainer Bob Baffert, it is his first Kentucky Derby victory since 2002. So, and American Pharoah also did win the Triple Crown that year. So, do we see a Triple Crown winner this year?
I hope not. Like Ryan was talking about in the Inside Drive, the Triple Crown lost its luster because it's happened so frequently. And I think back-to-back or 2 times in the last 5 years or something like that. But it was so great because it was like 35 years before that we ever had a Triple Crown. So that's when it became something.
But, I mean, that Triple Crown, where we had that 35-year gap, there were, in about a 6-year time period, there were 3 Triple Crowns in the 70s. Yeah. So, I mean, it goes through runs. If you really look at it, it's about every 25-ish years, you'll get about 2 horses in about a 5-year span. That'll get it. So doesn't happen a lot, but it happens enough that if you want to take a futures look at it, it might be here this year, but you don't know. That's why we go run those races. And they're all different kinds of tracks, so that kind of makes it cool as well.
All 19 of the horses have a chance to win the Triple Crown this year.
19 horses, because we did have one scratch earlier today from a veterinary, and Bob Baffert pulled one of his horses yesterday, but they only got replacement for one. So we'll have 2 open gates and we'll have a horse in the 21st gate as well.
They should not allow some of these people, I think, in some of this, like Baffert, okay? So, like, I don't know tons about horse racing, but he just had a horse win a couple years ago, and then shortly thereafter was found, like, it was, like, doped up, steroids or, whatever, HGH type stuff. So, I mean, like, if you get caught with that kind of stuff, I think they should, like, ban some of these trainers where, like, they can't be part of it. Because, I mean, it's just like you put money down on something like this, too, and then you might end up finding out that, the horse you bet on, didn't technically win the actual race. But if you go back and you, like, strip the horse that won the Derby, from, like, this title, maybe that guy wins, and maybe then you get your payout. But because it's all electronic and stuff, and it happens, like, days later, or they find out hours later, you're screwed. You don't get your money.
Yeah, because that happened actually a couple years ago. Not at the Derby, not at the Kentucky Derby, but at one of the other racetracks where a horse ran, it won. A couple hours later, when they get the blood work back, oh, your horse is cheating. Sorry. So it went to whoever finished second got to be the grand champion.
Except for your bets,
though. It happened at the Derby too a couple years ago, where the horse bumped another horse.
Yeah, I remember that one.
That
it got sent back.
Yeah, that was the leader, and they're like, nope, you cheated. You checked the horse into the board, so you can't do that.
Horse racing's gone the way of, like, the Tour de France.
All right, we got 1 minute left. Real quickly, what's the game of the weekend everybody's looking forward to?
A&M and LSU.
Kentucky Derby.
Rick, got a game you're looking forward to this weekend?
Oh, shoot. I don't know, man. I haven't really thought about it. Game 7 in hockey.
Yeah, that's what I'm going with. I'm going Game 7 Avalanche, and the Dallas Stars should be an excellent game. Always love to be watching a Game 7 in the NHL.
I'll be picking Colorado in that one, too, buddy.
I am going to take Colorado in that one. Hopefully the Avalanche get the win, because I like the Avalanche much better than I like those Dallas Stars. But end of the week, guys. We have made it through this week. The weekend is very, very, very quickly approaching. Enjoy it, guys. Watch the Derby. Watch some sports. Have fun out there. Keep your stick on the ice.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
The Atlanta Braves play here.
And just like that, the Atlanta Braves are back.
Alex dives, and he's got him. Terrific play by Alex Verdugo.
Tonight, the Braves host the Los Angeles Dodgers. First pitch is 6:15. Listen to live play-by-play from Truist Park in a rich audio experience on your home for the Braves on the Gulf Coast.
Boy, what a sparkling double play to end the game.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with your latest forecast on ESPN Northwest Florida this Friday. For tonight, partly cloudy skies and a low of 72 with a light breeze around 5 miles per hour coming out of the south-southwest. Tomorrow morning, a likelihood of thunderstorms and mostly clouds with temps around 77. In the afternoon and evening, possible thunderstorms and light showers and a temperature near 77. Moving into Sunday, about the same with a high of 79 and raining lightly. This forecast is brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for tuning into ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Here at Tracy's Fine Jewelry, we're here to help you celebrate life's precious moments. From engagements, Mother's Day and birthdays, to anniversaries, Father's Day, and graduation. Tracy's Fine Jewelry is with you every step of the way with a perfect gift to celebrate any occasion. Celebrating every I do, Happy Mother's Day, anniversary, graduation, and Father's Day, because every occasion is perfect with a little bit of sparkle. Tracy's Fine Jewelry, putting a sparkle on Bay County for over 50 years.
Your biggest investment is your home. Protect it while also improving its appearance with Earthworks of Northwest Florida. We have sand, mulch, gravel, or lay down decorative stone, all available for pickup and delivery. Discover your dream landscape with Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Imagine the moment you proudly pull up to your home that you've worked so